So, you want to know, do you need a realtor when buying a new construction home? Thank you for coming to the channel. Please like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, put them below. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. Let's get into it. All right, so do you need a realtor when buying a new construction home? The answer is no. You actually do not need a realtor through any real estate transaction, right? However, I equate real estate to someone who is looking for representation when it comes to law. You never want to go into a courtroom unrepresented without a great lawyer. So real estate is the same situation. You do not want to go into a transaction without a great realtor to represent you. We are there, similar to the lawyer, to have your back, right? Because at the end of the day, you don't go into any profession expecting the professional not to be there to help you out in a situation, right? So I know a lot of people don't want to work with realtors, and it might be due to past experiences. It might be due to them seeing like, oh, realtors get paid so much, because nowadays what's happening is that a lot of realtors are glamorizing their life on social media and also on TV shows, but that is not the reality of real estate. But nonetheless, before I go on a tangent about that, let's get into, do you need a realtor when buying a new construction home? And so what I'm going to do is I have some notes over here that I'm going to kind of keep on track with, and I also have a particular site in which they, on my phone, that I'm going to read from, in which a on-site agent, which is that of the builder, them basically going back and forth with conversation in regards to working with a co-op buyer's agent as far as helping a transaction when it comes to a client buying a house in a new construction community. So I always tell people, think about new construction, and most people don't realize is that you can actually utilize a realtor when going to a new construction property. Most people feel like, oh, I didn't know that, because you see these new construction communities, you see these model homes, you walk inside the model home, you see a wonderful sales agent there, and they're there to assist you. Sales agents are also licensed real estate professionals. However, what people don't understand is that the sales agent usually works for the builder. So they work for the builder. They are the builder's client. So similar to if you were going to list a house with the owner of the house, you would be their realtor. So that means you have fiduciary responsibility or duties to uphold with that particular owner of the house, or in this situation as a new construction on-site agent with that builder. So that means that your duties is going to be more placed over there than actually facilitating a transaction with a buyer, because your fiduciary duty is more towards that owner or that builder. So it's always great that you going into a new construction community, that you going with a buyer's agent. I know most people might not know that, and I'm always surprised. And honestly, the reason why I'm making this video is because I do run into a lot of people that say, hey Davon, I didn't know that I could use a realtor during this transaction. I just thought that these realtors are on site, these are on-site agents, they can navigate me through this process. And I'm not saying that they can't. However, it's always great to have somebody on your side fighting for you. Similar to, like I said, a lawyer is on your side fighting for you. You want to have that great representation. So the reason why I say that as well is that most people don't know, when it comes to new construction as well, that some of these new construction communities have incentives. They have a certain amount, up to a certain amount of incentives, as far as they might say like $10,000 in incentives. They can go towards buy down the interest rate. It can go towards closing costs or HOA fees, or dues, I should say, HOA dues, maybe for a year. I've recently seen a new construction community inside our MLS system where it states how the incentives can be used. And so somebody might come and sit at a table, they might talk to that on-site agent. The on-site agent might tell them this information, but they might not understand how to go about utilizing that incentive the right way to make it make sense for them. And also, let's get the maximum incentive. If it's $10,000 in closing costs, or as far as the incentive, or paying HOA dues for the year, or if it is a lender credit to kind of buy down that interest rate, let's go for the max. We don't want to undercut ourselves. So that's something that your agent coming on site with you on a new construction can help you negotiate that maximum incentive, right? And then outside of that, you might not understand, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, you might not understand that there is a thing called earnest money. So earnest money is almost like a good faith deposit, saying that I'm going to put this down because I'm buying this house, and I with me putting this down, basically you trust because I put this money down that I am going to see this process through in buying this house. Can you terminate and can you get your earnest money deposit back? Yes, but everything is due within a certain due diligence period, and some people might not know that. If you go into the process without an agent representing you, you might not understand the timeline, you might not understand the due diligence period, you might not understand the finance and contingency period, you might not understand the appraisal period. So all those things you need to know. Again, an on-site agent will tell you this information, but it's always great to actually go back to your own personal agent that's working with you directly instead of just going to the on-site agent, because if they're building 82 homes in this community and everybody comes to the community and nobody has representation, then they're dealing with 82 different contracts. So they're not going to really know you as much as someone that is on your side, being your direct agent as a buyer's agent coming into that new construction community will know you. So that is another way of thinking about it. All right. And when it comes to earnest money, today I actually talked with an on-site agent at a particular development, and I was asking them in regards to that earnest money, because most people don't understand too with new builds, if you come in with an outside lender, usually what they're going to do is they're going to ask you to put down a certain deposit amount if you're financing. So this particular community, if you came in, didn't want to use like their preferred lender, because most new construction communities, they have a preferred lender in which they utilize to try to get those incentives. So that you might come into the community, they might say, hey, you don't have an agent. Okay, no problem. What we'll do is that you can utilize our on-site agent. Again, they are working for the builder. They're not working for, so the builder is their client and you are their customer. So they'll work for the builder, but they will tell you about the incentives. They'll tell you about different things. However, they'll say you can only get these incentives when utilizing our preferred lender. And with them saying that, most times people will go with the preferred lender. And when you go with the preferred lender, earnest money wise, they'll allow you to put between 1 to 3% down using that preferred lender. So that's 1 to 3% down of the purchase price, right? So remember that when earnest money deposits, that's on the new construction. Also on resales is usually typically 1 to 3% as well. However, say you go to a new construction community and you do not have you don't want to use their preferred lender. Say you already have a pre-approval letter from another lender. You like the origination fees. You like the interest rate you got from that lender after shopping around. Because another thing you guys need to do, you need to shop around to different lenders. You need to not only go with one lender. You want to shop around and see what lender can kind of give you the best rates, and see the lenders that can kind of move around. Maybe they might move around your DTI, give you a higher approval amount. So shop around with those lenders. But nonetheless, back to what I was saying, you might go there, you might decide to use the lender in which you got a pre-approval from. So they might say, well, okay, since you're using this lender, there's a certain deposit amount. So this particular community, if you use an outside lender, there is a $30,000 deposit amount. If you use their preferred lender, you get that 1% of the purchase price for your earnest money in regards to your deposit. However, if you're using cash and you're not using financing, you can go in with the same 1% EMD, which is earnest money deposit, on that new construction. So it's good to know things like that, understand how that kind of goes when it comes to putting that deposit down on that new construction. So that's another incentive, or I would say piece of knowledge that you can get from your buyer's agent when you guys go. I always tell people too, nowadays what's kind of happening is that some people might have a buyer's agent. They might show up at new constructions and they might come without a buyer's agent, and then they might get there and the agent might ask them, are you currently represented? And they might say, well, I don't know, I'm not sure. And once you sign stuff, it kind of messes up the whole representation situation. So always, if you're going to a new construction community, call your realtor if you're working with one. Call them, say, hey, I just want to let you know I'm about to stop by this new construction community. It's around here. I just want to let you know. So then that way, that realtor can then reach out to that new construction community on-site sales agent and let them know, hey, my client, blah, 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 is coming. Can you please look out for them? I currently represent them, so they know how to actually move when it comes to you going there and know how to approach you accordingly. So always do that before just visiting any new construction community, because I know sometimes you might just be in the neighborhood and you might just want to see something because it's right there. But just do that. If you have a buyer's agent representing you in this new construction deal, give them a call. Just let them know that you're going. Also, when it comes to working with an agent on the buyer side, you have to remember you do not pay the agent a fee. So currently there is a lawsuit going on. I don't know if it will pass or not, which I believe is called Mueller I believe I'm saying it right, Moeller versus the National Association of Realtors, where they are trying to do something in regards to buyer agents, their commission. However, in this particular case, I'm not sure if it would work when it comes to new construction, because the builder is paying that commission fee. It's not an actual owner of said property. So when it comes to buying new construction with a realtor, with a buyer's agent, and bringing your own realtor, again, look into that if you can. I understand some people might have a hard time, might have went through stressful situations with a realtor, but I'm promising you that you will get better results and feel a little bit more fulfilled if you utilize a realtor in your buying process on a new construction site. Again, the new construction on-site sales agents, they're wonderful, but they represent the builder as a client and you as a customer, right? So let's go here, and I'm going to read one of the questions, and it says, it's basically saying what I just told you guys. It says, how does the role of an on-site sales agent differ from a non-builder agent, co-op realtor working with the buyer? So you would be the buyer going on to this new construction site, purchasing said property. Builders on-site agents, sales agent, Mr. Gill, says a co-op realtor has a fiduciary relationship with their client, whereas the buyer is my customer. So what he's saying is basically the builder is his client. He says the builder is in fact my client, although I do not maintain any agency relationship. Rather, I am an employee. It is important in this relationship to explain to buyers that I am not and cannot be their representative, as he points out the legal and technical differences in the roles. So that is basically saying what I said earlier, is that on-site agent works for that builder. So they cannot work for you as a buyer coming into the community, so you are the customer. So they don't have that fiduciary responsibility in regards to you as a customer. Again, I'm not knocking on-site sales agents. They do wonderful jobs because they are realtors as well. But that duty is towards that builder. So let's get back to another point that I have written down in this paper in regards to an on-site sales agent. Sometimes what can happen in the midst of buying new construction as well is that when it comes to the home inspection process, most people do not know that you can actually do a 3-stage home inspection process. Yes, sometimes it can be a little difficult to kind of maneuver around it because they might not want a home inspector to come in during the process when building a new build, but you have 3 different phases when it comes to building a new build in regards to home inspection. You have the pre-pour stage, which is when they're grading the land, pouring the soil, putting in the stints and everything as far as to lay that foundation for that property. You can get a home inspection on that. You also have the drywall inspection, which is once the framing is done, they're putting drywall up, putting electrical, all those different things in. You can get a home inspection for that as well. And then of course you got your final walkthrough. And what they do in new construction, they call it a blue tape walkthrough, where basically they give you a roll of blue tape. You go inside the home and you just put blue tape next to everything that looks not correct, imperfections, whatever you guys want to say, right? But most people don't realize that if you go in without a buyer's agent, you might not have an opportunity to get a third-party home inspection. And I've talked to some people who have went through new construction, didn't have an agent, and even though this is not ethical, I would say, for an on-site sales agent to say, but I've had a person tell me that they told them that they could not use a third-party outside home inspector to come in and inspect said new construction, which is false. You have the right to use an outside home inspection, and you should always use an outside home inspection person to come in and inspect that property, because at the end of the day, we all, as people, we're biased, right? We have a bias towards a friendship or a relationship, right? And in this situation, if the builder utilizes their home inspector, they have a relationship. So that relationship might be a little skewed, might be a little biased because they have that relationship. However, outside inspector does not have that bias, so they're going to look at it differently. It's not going to be skewed. So that is why it's also good in this situation if you have representation as far as an agent. When you go buy a new construction, what they can do, they can kind of facilitate that third-party home inspection. I always tell people, even when it comes to getting a mortgage, right, or looking for a lender to get a pre-approval, things like that, similar to home inspections, is always great that if you have an already developed relationship with your own lender or your own home inspector, utilize those. An agent can also give you referrals to other ones that they have currently worked with or that they find very useful. However, if you have a personal relationship with somebody that you trust and you already know has been in the business or helped you in the past with a loan for a home, or if they helped you with a home inspection, utilize them, right? But you do need to understand that on new constructions, you have that that right to get that third-party home inspection. So that is something else that most people might not know when buying new construction. And again, I know some new constructions, they come with warranties, and what happens with some people is that they'll go through that whole the blue tape inspection situation, and what they sometimes might not do is that they might do the blue tape home inspection, they might not come back and actually do another walkthrough to make sure all those things were taken care of, and you might get into a situation where they say, well, it's all right, we'll fix it, you have a year within the warranty or whatever, the home warranty, to kind of fix anything, situations, blah blah blah. And then you'll get into your house and you'll realize that it's kind of hard to get them to come out and actually like fix the things that you wanted them to fix. So with a buyer's agent that's co-oping in a situation with the on-site agent, we'll make sure that they get all those blue tape situations that you put or you saw in the house prior to closing done. We want them done, and we want to put that in an amendment to make sure that they have that completed prior to moving in. All right, and then let's give it a little bit more. Again, I'm reading from my paper because I want to make sure I have notes, y'all. I want to make sure I hit all the points before I kind of get off of here. Also, you guys want to understand, like I said, understand the contract. When it comes to real estate, contracts can be a little difficult to understand. And this is a big purchase, right? This is one of the biggest purchases in your life, especially today in this market we are in with 2023 now. Home prices are at the peak high. So we want to make sure that we are doing our due diligence. We are understanding contract. Like I said, when you have your own agent, they can sit down. If you need to go through that hand in hand, they can make you understand what exactly the contract is talking about and different things like that. So you just want to make sure you have that representation there to kind of support you. Again, you don't go to court with a bad lawyer, you go with a great lawyer, and you don't go to court without a lawyer, because usually it'll not end up the way you want it to end up, right? And so yeah, that's about all that I kind of want to touch on today when it comes to new construction. I just want to make people aware that you can utilize a buyer's agent when buying new construction property. My name is Davon Clark. I'm a local realtor in the Metro Atlanta area. I didn't say that in the beginning. I should have said that. But if you're interested in just having a conversation about real estate, you need more questions answered, want to find out a little bit more. Again, real estate varies from the state you're in, the city that you're in. So we have different laws in different states. Even though we are the United States of America, every state has different laws. So the laws varies from state to state. It's always great to check with a realtor local to your state when it comes to certain questions. However, if you might have basic generic real estate questions, you can always reach out to me. If you need to be referred to a realtor in a different state, you can also reach out to me as well. I have a pool of realtors that I can refer you to in different states. It doesn't have to be in the state of Georgia. It can be anywhere in the United States of America to get referred to any city. But again, remember, real estate is local to your market. Every market is different. Currently, I am in the Atlanta, Georgia metropolitan market, so I know more about this Georgia market. However, you always want to talk to a realtor local in your market. All right. Nonetheless, hopefully you guys like videos like this, found this very helpful. If you have any questions, put it below. You can like the video, you can dislike the video. You can definitely put any concerns down in the comments. I understand some people do not really care to use a realtor, and it's totally understandable. Everybody has the right to do what they want to do, but I'm just here to help you and answer any questions that you might need answered. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.